Are you ready for some jaw-dropping news about a key player on the Vancouver Canucks? The clock is ticking on a handful of young talents, and with the end of the season approaching, some of them are about to lose their waiver exemption status. This could mean big changes for the team as they navigate the future. Who will step up and secure their spot? Stick around, because we're diving into the details that every passionate Canucks fan needs to know. The Vancouver Canucks are facing some pivotal decisions as we approach the end of the 2024-25 season, and it's crucial to discuss the players who are about to lose their waiver exemption status. Every year, we see a few names on this list that catch fans and teams off guard. Typically, young players have this exemption, allowing them to be shuffled between the NHL and AHL without the risk of being claimed by other teams. Once that clock runs out, it becomes a critical moment, not just for the players, but for the organization as well. Take Aatu Raty, for example. He's undoubtedly the most intriguing name on this list. The Canucks are hoping he can seize this chance to solidify his place in the lineup for next season. After all, he's shown flashes of brilliance, like his recent 3-goal performance, including a standout game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Acquired in the Bo Horvat trade, Raty has had a longer development path than many anticipated, but he possesses the potential to be a solid third-line center. With his AHL performance nearly a point per game, it's hard to imagine the Canucks will let him slip through waivers if he's not on the NHL roster next season. Then we have Arshdeep Bains, a local hero who has made quite the name for himself in the AHL. He's been a reliable point producer and was even named an AHL All-Star in his second professional season. But here's the thing. His performance in the NHL hasn't quite matched up. 1 goal in 21 games is a tough pill to swallow. Given this, he might not be claimed off waivers, but he still has to navigate that process. It's a tricky situation, and it makes you wonder if he has what it takes to break through at the NHL level. Linus Karlsson is another name in this conversation. At 25 years old, he's been a dependable player in the AHL, and he even showed he could contribute in the playoffs last season. Yet, like Bains, he struggled to translate that success to the NHL. He'll be turning 26 in November, and time is ticking for him to make an impact. The Canucks will need to be strategic here. If he doesn't make the roster, he'll have to go through waivers, and you have to wonder if other teams might be interested. Artur Silovs is a wild card in this mix. I can already hear the debate in the comments about whether he should even be considered a fringe NHLer. After a standout playoff performance last season, his form has taken a nosedive, and he's become someone the team can't rely on. It's interesting to note that some of the most successful waiver claims in NHL history have been goalies. So, while the Canucks might hope to pass Silovs through waivers, it's certainly a gamble. Now, let's talk about a few more players who are likely to slip through waivers without much fuss. Akito Hirose, Ty Glover, and Cole McWard are set to join the ranks of other AHL players who are already eligible for waivers, including Neil Zaman and Christian Wolanin. While they might not be the headline names, their futures are also intertwined with the team's depth and strategy. As a passionate fan of the Canucks, I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and concern about these decisions. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, retaining young talent like Raty and Bains is crucial for the future. But on the other hand, the pressure to make the right call is immense. The stakes are high, and every choice could impact the team's trajectory for years to come. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And you, what do you think? Are the Canucks making the right moves with these players? Let's get a conversation going in the comments. Your insights matter, and I want to see what you all think about these pivotal decisions. The Vancouver Canucks are currently in a tough spot as they strive for a playoff berth, but with just 8 games left and trailing the Minnesota Wild by 7 points, the odds are not in their favor. One of the most significant blows to their hopes has been the absence of center Filip Chytil, who has been sidelined since March 15th after suffering a concussion from a brutal hit. Acquired in the high-profile trade for JT Miller, Chytil was expected to be a key contributor to the Canucks, and his ongoing recovery has cast a shadow over the team's playoff aspirations. Coach Rick Tache provided an update that doesn't inspire much confidence. He mentioned that while Chytil has had some promising days on the ice, he hasn't been able to shake off the symptoms consistently enough to make progress in his rehabilitation. He had good days and bad days, Tache said, which raises a lot of concerns. It's not just about getting him back on the ice. It's about ensuring he's fully ready to compete without risking further injury. This situation leaves us wondering, will we see Chytil again this season? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, the team needs him to have any chance of making a push for the playoffs. But on the other hand, we can't rush him back if it jeopardizes his long-term health. Chytil, who was only 25, was supposed to bring speed and scoring ability to a Canucks lineup that has struggled to find consistent offensive production. In 56 games this season, he's notched 13 goals and 13 assists, numbers that, while solid, don't quite capture the potential he showed just 2 seasons ago when he posted a career-high 22 goals and 23 assists in just 74 games. You can feel the frustration in the fan base as we remember the high hopes we had when Chytil joined the team, hopes that seem to be dwindling with each passing game. For the Canucks, every decision becomes critical. The trade for Chytil was a bold move, aimed at solidifying their forward depth and creating a competitive edge in the Western Conference. But if he can't return, it raises questions about the efficacy of that trade. Did we give up too much for a player who's now a question mark? This is the kind of analysis that keeps me awake at night as a passionate fan. I want to believe that this was the right decision, but the uncertainty is unsettling. Looking ahead, the Canucks need to find a way to generate offense without Chytil. They're facing an uphill battle, and every game counts. The pressure on the remaining players to step up is immense. Can they rise to the occasion and fill the void left by Chytil? The potential for young players to shine in his absence could be a silver lining, but it's hard not to feel the weight of what's at stake. And you, what do you think? I'm eager to hear your opinions down below. Are you optimistic about the Canucks' chances to turn this around? Or do you think the absence of Chytil is too much to overcome? It's a critical moment in the season, and your insights are invaluable. Let's engage in this debate together and discuss what the future might hold for our beloved Canucks. As we navigate these challenging waters, don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with our Vancouver Canucks journey. Your support means everything as we rally behind our team during this pivotal time. Let's hope for the best and keep our fingers crossed for a playoff miracle.